Yes, thank you. So I'm going to read you a story out of the Pali Canon. I know that if anybody ever looks at the website, it says Zen, Zen, and More Zen was the title of my talk. But this is like a combination of everything, and not just Zen. That I put that up because I couldn't figure out what I was going to talk about, and I didn't want it to say TBD. So this is one of my favorite stories, and those of you that have heard me before have heard me use this story frequently, telling it, and so I'm going to read to you. This is if you're looking for information about the Pali Canon. Bhikkhu Bodhi is like the rock star of translation, or one of them. There's about 3 now, and this one is called In the Buddha's Words, and he takes a few of the very most relevant, whatever that means, of the Pali texts and puts commentary with them, but also has them in their complete essence in his translation. And this is just like, I have things marked all the time in here because it's just my go-to place to find things. So that's an advertisement for Bodhi, for Bhikkhu Bodhi. So here's the story. It's the simile of the mountain.
Who's compiled the collection?
Pardon me?
Who has compiled this collection?
It's called In the Buddha's Words.
And there is no person who compiled it together?
It just is an anthology of discourses. Okay. It's it's out of all the different ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's in a chapter called The Human Condition. So the simile of the mountain. So I'm going to read it to you and then we're going to talk. I have some things. At Savatthi, in the middle of the day, King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down to one side. The Blessed One then asked him, "Now, where are you coming from, great king, in the middle of the day?" "Just now, venerable sir, I have been engaged in those affairs of kingship typical for kings, who are intoxicated with the intoxication of sovereignty, who are obsessed by greed for sensual pleasures, who have attained stable control in their country, and who rule having conquered a great sphere of territory on earth." So this is the Buddha asking him a question. "What do you think, great king? Suppose a person would come to you from the east, one who is trustworthy and reliable, and would tell you, 'For sure, great king, you should know this. I am coming from the east, and there I saw a great mountain, high as the clouds, coming this way, crushing all living beings. Do whatever you think should be done, great king.' Then a second person would come to you from the west, a third from the north, and a fourth from the south, one who is trustworthy and reliable, and would tell you, 'For sure, great king, you should know this. I am coming from the south, from the east, from the west. And there I saw a great mountain, high as the clouds, coming this way, crushing all living beings. Do whatever you think should be done, great king. If, great king, such a great peril should arise, such a terrible destruction of human life, the human state being so difficult to obtain, what should be done?' So the kings replied, 'If, venerable sir, such a great peril should arise, such a terrible destruction of human life, the human state being so difficult to obtain, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds? I inform you, great king,'" this is the Buddha again, "I inform you, great king, I announce to you, great king, aging and death are rolling in on you. When aging and death are rolling in on you, great king, what should be done? As aging and death are rolling in on me, venerable sir, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds?" This is the Buddha. "Venerable sir, Kings, intoxicated with the intoxication of sovereignty, obsessed by greed for sensual pleasures, who have attained stable control in their country and rule over a great sphere of territory, conquer by means of elephant battles, cavalry battles, chariot battles, and infantry battles. But there is no hope of victory by such battles, no chance of success when aging and death are rolling in. In this royal court, venerable sir, there are counselors who, when the enemies arrive, are capable of dividing them by subterfuge. But there's no hope of victory by subterfuge, no chance of success when aging and death are rolling in. In this royal court, venerable sir, there exists abundant bullion and gold stored in vaults and lofts, and with such wealth we are capable of mollifying the enemies when they come. But there is no hope of victory by wealth, no chance of success when aging and death are rolling in. As aging and death are rolling in on me, venerable sir, what else should I do but live by the Dhamma, live righteously, and do wholesome and meritorious deeds? So it is, great king, so it is, great king. As aging and death are rolling in on you, what else should you do but live by the Dhamma, live righteously, and do wholesome and meritorious deeds? This is what the Blessed One said. So, in the past few weeks, to me, it has felt like the mountains are coming in, rolling in from all directions. And I find myself feeling afraid no matter what happens. And then I hear another piece of news about another place in the world where there's a war and mothers and children are being killed along with the men. And so I picked this because I really find great comfort in this story. And the reason that I do is that there isn't anything else to do but to just do the best we can with what we have in the middle of everything that feels onerous. And so you just look straight at it, feel the fear and the anger and the joy in all of that, and just keep going straight ahead. And so there are some strategies that I'd like to share with you that I've come up with, and then we'll talk about your strategies too, because I'm sure that you have some also. So meditate daily is one that I think is really important. This is a quote from, I don't know who it's from. My references are not here. So, our mind very quickly discovers that we can be serious, not sincere, but serious, in our spiritual pursuit without being overly committed. And so what I'm saying is that choose even 5 minutes, but choose a time every day to be committed to just sitting and paying attention to your practice. You're off the cushion, on the cushion, and then take it with you off. We can study hard, we can meditate mindlessly and go to every retreat, but if we aren't really paying attention, we aren't really being mindful, that's just useless. Another quote from, hang on a second, I think I have this. Oh, I do. This one is from, the first one was from Rodney Smith. The Wednesday night group is reading a book called Stepping Out of Self-Deception. And then this one is a quote from Pema Chodron. We don't sit in meditation to become good meditators. We sit in meditation so that we'll be more awake in our lives. And so getting a taste of that, sitting in your meditation where you're paying attention really carefully and then taking that out into the rest of your life is the whole point. Tonglin would be another way of doing that, sending out, bringing in the fear and bringing in the things that feel scary, and then taking them through your heart and breathing out the love and the joy out into the rest of the world is a technique that Pema Chodron also talks about. Recently, so if you came to my house and looked in the front yard, I have a little thing out there that has little sayings connected to it that have the word love in all of them. And for a long time I felt sort of self-conscious about doing that, because I really believe in my heart of hearts that love is the basis is the solution for everything in the world. Yet often people look at you as if you're being totally naive to think that that is true. But I still think that it is without question. It is our Buddha nature. It is the fullness. It is the everything. Love is the everything. And this is a quote from Makjig Ladron, who was, I don't remember how long ago, probably, I think it's around the 1200s in Tibet. She was a woman teacher, and she said, approach what you find repulsive, help the ones you think you cannot help, and go to places that scare you. And really, for me, that's expressing love in that bigger capital letter kind of thing. We're already awake if we just notice it, We are already love if we just notice it. So everything in the world is sacred, even the scary parts. And then another technique that I think is really important is just keep going straight ahead. So in the simile, he said, just keep doing the Dharma, keep doing what I'm doing the best I can, is basically what he was saying. And so there's a koan in the Hidden Lamp and in the Gateless Gate that is about a woman from Taishan who monks come through her tea shop, and they always say, what's the way to Taishan? And she goes, straight ahead, just go straight ahead. And then every single one of them, she goes, well, there he goes. And another monk going straight ahead. But really being brave and just going straight ahead and doing what you need to do is really a good strategy. I have rarely found, when I really listened to my heart and did what I knew was true and right, been sorry for it afterwards. I've always been glad that I did that. So, again, I'm going to read you, as aging and death are rolling in on me, Venerable Sir, what else should be done but to live by the Dharma, to live righteously, follow our precepts the best we can, and do wholesome and meritorious deeds. See the fear, do it anyway. Usually we think that brave people have no fear. The truth is that they are intimate with fear. That's Pema again. And we can shut down and feel resentful, or we can touch in on that throbbing quality. There is definitely something tender and throbbing about groundlessness, and that's Pema again talking about that. If it does not help the world to have it doesn't help the world to have one more person feel anxious, angry, overwhelmed, and agitated. Calmness and love is what the world needs in order to heal itself. I know that with absolute certainty. And the last thing under the keeps going straight is just not knowing, recognizing that you just don't have the answers, and that the outcome is not something you have any idea of. You just really don't know. And again, we go back to a koan that I really love and the punchline is that not knowing is the most intimate. It's the most intimate. So, and then another strategy is connect with loving and caring people. I have actually 3 threads on my phone that go continuously with people that are either related to me or I've known forever, 40 plus years. And then you all are just really caring and loving people. I know that your intention is to stay connected to the Dhamma and to do the righteous things, and so that's really important in this time to stay connected to loving and caring people. And then the last strategy that I have that works for me is focus on gratitude. So we have a book next to our bed, and we write at a minimum of 3 things that we're grateful for each day, and sometimes it's the bed. Sometimes it's that I'm breathing, and often it's bigger things. But it doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small, so that the last thing that you're thinking about before you go to sleep, and I think that's a good time to do that, is to recognize what it is that you're joyful about and grateful for. So, looking forward to your strategies.